Hi there, Christy here from makingitinthemountains.com, where I vlog about our journey to renovate our first fixer-upper. About 3.5 years ago, we purchased this big old house from the 70s, hoping to turn it into the farmhouse of our dreams. We've worked away room by room over the last 3.5 years. We've made our way through most of the upstairs, renovating each of those spaces. Those were a great place to start because we can go room by room. We left our main floor for last because we knew it was going to be a major renovation project. From the moment we laid eyes on this house, we knew we wanted to open up all the spaces on the main floor. We wanted to open up our front entry and our kitchen and living room to create one big open space. Knowing that we were going to combine all of these spaces together meant that we could no longer go room by room with this renovation. We needed to take on everything all at once. This was by far the biggest renovation project we've ever taken on. Not only did we tear out walls, including a big structural wall between our living room and kitchen, but to really open up this space, we actually tore out our sunken living room floor and rebuilt it completely to be level and flush with the rest of our main floor. From floor to ceiling and everything in between, not a single surface was left untouched. It was a ton of work, and we are more than a year into this renovation project and it's still not quite done, but we are so in love with the spaces we've created that I couldn't help but share it with you guys today. So join me as I walk you through our renovation from beginning to end, with all sorts of before and after pictures for you guys to see just how huge this renovation was for us. Okay friends, so welcome to our home. This is what you see as soon as you walk in our front entrance. Looking back at the before pictures, you can see just how closed in the space felt. Instead of walking into a bright, airy, and welcoming space, you entered into a long, narrow hallway straight to the back of our house. From the very first time we laid eyes on this house, we knew we wanted to really open up these spaces. It was a ton of work, but relocating that closet to close off the hallway to the back of our house and then opening up the walls that separated off this space really helped to open up our entryway to the rest of our main floor. Now, instead of dark and closed off, I think our entryway feels so much more welcoming. As you can see, the view from our entryway has changed so much too. Not only did we remove the walls separating our entryway from our living room, but even better, we took out the large wall separating our kitchen and living room as well, which obviously really opened up these spaces. So because this was a structural wall, we actually had to involve a structural engineer to do up some drawings for us. We had to build temporary supporting walls before we could remove the wall and then install a structural beam. Taking out that wall between our living room and our kitchen was probably one of the most stressful and challenging parts of our entire house renovation. And of course, taking out that wall would have been totally pointless if we had left our sunken living room, so we tore out the entire floor and rebuilt it to be flush and level with the rest of our main floor. All of these big structural changes were definitely the hardest parts of our home renovation to live through, but they were so worth it. They've made the biggest difference in the way that we live and use our home today. So with all of the big structural changes out of the way, it was finally time to start making this house feel like a home again. Rather than try to patch the ceiling where those walls had been and try to fiddle around with all of the new electrical we wanted to put in, we decided to just rip it all down and start fresh. We decided to install some tongue and groove plank, all across our ceiling on the entire main floor. We did this for a couple of reasons. First of all, we could install this ourselves and have it look professional. And second of all, it was a really economical way to go. Once our ceiling was installed, things started to move along pretty quickly actually. We finished up all of the drywalling and painted out all of the walls with my favorite warm gray color, Edgecomb Gray from Benjamin Moore. Then finally, it was time to rip out all of those existing kitchen cabinets so we could start installing our new hardwood floors throughout the entire main floor. With the new floors installed, our kitchen cabinets and countertops came shortly after. We installed all new custom cabinets, new appliances, lighting, a new tile backsplash. Basically everything from floor to ceiling was completely different than it had been before. Now we're still waiting more than a year later for some of our cabinet doors. That's a long story that I will definitely get into another time. But even so, we are so in love with the spaces that we've created. The fireplace got a big old makeover too, with a few coats of white paint and a new marble tile hearth. I couldn't resist sharing some before and after shots just to give you guys an idea of just how big this renovation really was. So even though things aren't quite finished up just yet and we're still waiting on a few last minute touches, we really have come so far. Looking back at these before and after pictures really shows me just how much our hard work has paid off. We couldn't be happier with how these spaces came together, how they look and function for our family. All that hard work, the mess, the chaos, it was all worth it. I'm so proud to see what we've been able to turn this big old house from the 70s into. We absolutely love having a living room that's open to our kitchen. It's made for the perfect space to gather with our friends and family. Okay, so as I mentioned before, we carried the hardwood and the ceiling right through the rest of our main floor as well. We installed a custom built-in pantry just off of our kitchen, though it's still missing the doors. Those are hopefully on their way soon. And then around the corner from that is our brand new mudroom. You guys, I couldn't be more excited to have laundry and a mudroom right here on our main floor. This space has become the perfect mudroom hub of the house. Off of it, we've got our powder room, our back door, and our garage entrance. It's the perfect spot to enter no matter where you are and drop everything in one place. So continuing on down the hallway is our back family room. This is the space where we gather together at the end of a long day to curl up and watch a movie. Carson practices his piano. It's just a great place for us all to hang out together. So as you can see, our hardwood floors and our tongue and groove plank ceiling stretch from one end of the house all the way to the other. I love that it makes everything feel continuous and connected. You guys, I still can't believe how far we've come. Things might not be finished up quite yet, but holy smokes, this house has come such a long way. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this walk through our biggest renovation project yet. Though it's not quite finished yet, I hope to share the finished space in time for Christmas tours this year. We've come such a long way. I still can't believe how this house has changed. I hope you love it as much as we do. So that's it for today, friends. If you're curious about how the rest of our house is coming along, be sure to tune in next week where I will be sharing a whole home house tour for you to share all of the progress we've made in the last 3.5 years. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up below and subscribe to my channel for even more farmhouse style DIY, decor, and recipe ideas. Thank you so much for watching.